The Law of One, Book 3, Part 12, Session number 54 continued. Ra. The origin of all energy is the action of free will upon love. The nature of all energy is light. The means of its ingress into the mind-body-spirit complex is duple. Firstly, there is the inner light, which is Polaris of the self, the guiding star. This is the birthright and true nature of all entities. This energy dwells within. The second point of ingress is the polar opposite of the North Star, shall we say, and may be seen if you wish to use the physical body as an analog for the magnetic field, as coming through the feet from the earth and through the lower point of the spine. This point of ingress of the universal light energy is undifferentiated until it begins its filtering process through the energy centers. The requirements of each center and the efficiency with which the individual has learned to tap into the inner light determine the nature of the use made by the entity of these instreamings. Questioner. Does experiential catalyst follow the same path? This may be a dumb question. Ra. I am Ra. This is not a pointless question, for catalyst and the requirements of distortions of the energy centers are two concepts linked as tightly as two strands of rope. Questioner. You mentioned in an earlier session that the experiential catalyst was first experienced by the South Pole and appraised with respect to its survival value. That's why I asked the question. Would you expand on this concept? Ra. I am Ra. We have addressed the filtering process by which incoming energies are pulled upwards according to the distortions of each energy center and the strength of will or desire emanating from the awareness of inner light. If we may be more specific, please query with specificity. Questioner. I'll make this statement, which may be somewhat distorted, and then let you correct it. We have, coming through the feet and base of the spine, the total energy that the mind-body-spirit complex will receive in the way of what we call light. Each energy center then filters out and uses a portion of this energy, red through violet. Is this correct? Ra. I am Ra. This is largely correct. The exceptions are as follows. The energy ingress ends with indigo. The violet ray is a thermometer or indicator of the whole. Questioner. As this energy is absorbed by the energy centers at some point, it is not only absorbed into the being, but radiates through the energy center outwardly. I believe this begins at the blue center and also occurs in the indigo and violet. Is this correct? Ra. I am Ra. Firstly, we would state that we had not finished answering the previous query, and may thus answer both in part by stating that in the fully activated entity, only that small portion of in-streaming light needed to tune the energy center is used, the great remainder being free to be channeled and attracted upwards. To answer your second question more fully, we may say that it is correct that radiation without the necessity of response begins with blue ray, although the green ray, being the great transitional ray, must be given all careful consideration. For until transfer of energy of all types has been experienced and mastered to a great extent, there will be blockages in the blue and indigo radiations. Again, the violet emanation is, in this context, a resource from which, through indigo, intelligent infinity may be contacted. The radiation thereof will not be violet ray, but rather green, blue, or indigo, depending upon the nature of the type of intelligence which infinity has brought through into discernible energy. The green ray type of radiation in this case is the healing, the blue ray, the communication and inspiration, the indigo, that energy of the adept which has its place in faith. Questioner. What if a mind-body-spirit complex feels a feeling in meditation at the indigo center? What is he feeling? Ra. I am Ra. This will be the last full query of this working. One who feels this activation is one experiencing in-streamings at that energy center to be used either for the unblocking of this center, for its tuning to match the harmonics of its other energy centers, or to activate the gateway to intelligent infinity. We cannot be specific, for each of these three workings is experienced by the entity which feels this physical complex distortion. Is there a brief query before we leave this instrument? Questioner. I just would ask if there is anything that we can do to make the instrument more comfortable or to improve the contact. Ra. I am Ra. Please be aware of the need for the support of the instrument's neck. All is well. I leave you, my friends, in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator. Go forth then, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one infinite Creator. Adonai.